The sun was bleeding orange across the cracked asphalt of a nowhere gas station in the Arizona desert when specialist Kayla Reyes rolled her black out Tahoe to pump number 3, the only rig in sight with official plate, and a cage in the back that rattled with low, impatient growls. She stepped out in desert camo pants, boots still dusted from a dawn patrol, and the second her door cracked open, the heat slapped her like a wet towel. 2 Harleys snarled in from the highway, chrome catching the dying light like knives, and the riders killed their engines with a synchronized flick that said they owned every square inch of concrete they touched. Skull tattoos, leather cuts, beards that hadn't seen a razor since the Obama administration. The bigger one called him Brick, because that's what his knuckles looked like, leaned against his bike and spat sunflower seeds into the dust. "Well, look here," he drawled, voice thick with cheap beer and cheaper opinions. "Military sent us a calendar girl to guard the pumps." His buddy, a wiry ferret of a man with a rebel flag bandana, cackled and snapped a photo with his phone. Kayla ignored them, sliding her card, but the machine beeped red card declined. Perfect. She had exactly $43 cash and a half-tank between her and Fort Huachuca. Brick sauntered closer. "Need a real man to pay for that, sweetheart." The word sweetheart landed like a slap. She met his eyes, calm the way only someone who stared down Taliban spotters can be calm, and said, "Pump's broken. I'll try the other side." That should have ended it. It didn't. "Hey, if you're already leaning in, smash that subscribe button real quick. It takes 2 seconds and keeps stories like this coming straight to your feed. Trust me. You'll want to see how this ends." Brick blocked her path, all 6'4" of him, smelling like gasoline and entitlement. "Nah, we're talking now." He flicked the brim of her cap, knocking it crooked. "What's the army teaching you girls these days? How to file paperwork in heels?" Ferret laughed so hard he coughed. Kayla's hand twitched toward the leash clipped to her belt, but she breathed through her nose, counting heartbeats the way her first sergeant taught her when rage wants to drive. The cage in the Tahoe rattled harder, a black muzzle pressed against the mesh. Yellow eyes locked on Brick's boots. "Easy, Jax," she murmured. Brick noticed. "Oh, you got a puppy back there." "What is it?" "A purse dog with a badge." He banged the window with a meaty fist. The growl that answered wasn't a puppy. It was a landslide wrapped in fur. Brick stepped back half an inch, instinct, not fear, and that half-inch was all the invitation Jax needed to lose his mind. The second growl came from the other crate, Luna. 2 Belgian Malinois, both 80 pounds of muscle and bad decision, trained to find explosives in Kandahar and to never ever blink. Kayla's voice cut through the snarl like a blade. "Gentlemen, you're scaring federal property." Brick recovered his swagger. "Property? That's Rich coming from." He never finished. The card reader on pump 4 suddenly worked. Kayla's backup card slid through. She topped off in silence while the bikers circled like buzzards, filming, jeering, posting. Live to whatever cesspool corner of the internet still used skull emojis unironically. One comment popped up on Ferret's screen. "Make her cry. Boys." Brick read it aloud and grinned. Fuel nozzle clicked full. Kayla hung it up, wiped her hands on her pants, and opened the back door. The desert went still except for the tick of cooling engines and the low thrum of paws hitting gravel. Jax stepped out first, ears flat, shoulders rolling like a panther's. Luna followed, tongue lolling in a smile that wasn't a smile. Both dogs sat the second, their butts touched ground, but every muscle vibrated. Kayla clipped leashes not because they needed them, but because regulations are regulations, and faced the bikers. "You've got 10 seconds to mount up and ride." Brick laughed until Jax shifted his weight forward a single inch. The laugh died in his throat. Ferret's phone trembled in his hand. The live feed chat exploded with fire emojis. Brick tried bravado one last time. "You gonna sick Barbie's dogs on us, princess?" Kayla's answer was quiet. Jax Luna watch. 2 words, German inflection drilled in at Lackland AFB. The dogs didn't move, but the air changed, like the moment before a sniper takes the shot. Brick's bravado cracked. He took 1 step back, boot heel scraping. That scrape was the mistake. To a Malinois. Retreat equals prey drive. Jax's ears flicked. Kayla saw it coming, same way she'd seen the glint of an RPG launcher in a goat trail outside Bagram. She could have recalled him with a snap. She didn't. Brick swung a wild haymaker at the dog, pure panic. No plan. Jax flowed under it like water. jaws clamping the leather sleeve just hard enough to puncture pride and denim but not artery. Brick screamed, sound more surprise than pain, tried to shake free. Luna darted low, nipping Ferret's boot lace, unraveling it in one tug that sent him windmilling into pump 2. The nozzle clattered. Gasoline glugged across the concrete. Ferret slipped, arms pinwheeling, phone airborne, slow-motion smash into a million spiderwebbed pieces. Brick flailed. Jax released the sleeve and repositioned, teeth now hovering. An inch from the man's throat, a silent negotiation, move and bleed. Kayla's voice floated over the chaos, almost gentle, down. Both dogs dropped flat, tongues panting, eyes never leaving their targets. The gas station clerk, a kid no older than 19, stood frozen behind bulletproof glass, mouth open wide enough to catch flies. Sirens in the distance, someone inside had hit the panic button. Brick found his voice high and shaking. "You crazy bitch, I'll sue." Kayla cut him off. "You assaulted a federal handler. That's a felony. Smile for the body cam." She tapped the GoPro clipped to her vest, red light blinking since the moment Brick touched her cap. Live feed chat went nuclear. State troopers rolled in hot. 2 cruisers sliding to a stop in a spray of gravel. The lead officer, a woman with a bun tighter than regulations, took one look at the dog's sitting statue, still beside a puddle of gasoline and 2 grown men on their knees, and exhaled through her teeth. "Reyes," she said, recognizing the handler from joint training at Davis-Monthan. "Situation?" Kayla recited facts like she was reading a weather report. Harassment attempted, assault, property damage, active live stream with death threats scrolling. The trooper's partner cuffed Brick while reading Miranda. Ferret tried to run and made it 3 steps before Luna's stare pinned him like a butterfly. The dogs never barked once. That's what got the internet 60 seconds of footage. 2 military working dogs reducing alpha male cosplay to whimpering with nothing but discipline and a single syllable of German. By the time Kayla loaded Jax and Luna back into the tower, the clip had 400k views and a hashtag gas station guardians. But the story doesn't end with viral glory. 3 days later, Kayla sat in a fluorescent-lit room at the base jet office, staring at paperwork that could end her career. The biker's lawyer, some sleazy ambulance chaser from Phoenix, claimed excessive force, emotional distress, even accused the dogs of being unregistered weapons. The army, terrified of headlines, scheduled a board to decide whether to muzzle Jax and Luna permanently. Kayla's commander, a colonel who'd lost a leg to an IID those same dogs had, sniffed out, stormed into the room and slammed a tablet on the table. The screen showed 1.2 million signatures on a change.org petition titled "Save the Gas Station Guardians." Veterans groups, police K9 units, even a U.S. senator from Arizona had retweeted the bodycam footage with a caption, "This is what right looks like." The board lasted 11 minutes. K. dismissed. Jax and Luna got extra steaks in their bowls that night. A month later, Kayla fueled up at the same station U pumps, same desert heat. The clerk, now wearing a gas station Guardians t-shirt the internet had printed by the thousands, refused her money. "On the house, ma'am. Forever." Brick and Ferret, community service picking up highway trash in neon vests, supervised by a sheriff's deputy whose own K9 rode shotgun. Rumor is every time a semi roars past, Brick flinches at the sound of air brakes. Kayla just filled her tank, scratched 2 velvet ears, and whispered, "Good dogs." Then she rolled out, dust plume, writing her signature across the sky. The sun sets slow in Arizona, but justice can set faster when the right paws hit the ground. From which part of the country are you watching this video? Drop your state in the comments. I read every single one.